Hello, all. So, let's talk about the elephant in the room. I am wearing glasses because either A, I have got a job as a sexy librarian. Hold on. Or B, I just watched a movie with subtitles. And being old as fuck as I am, obviously maybe not as old as other people, but old enough, I need glasses to read. Now, few things. Number one, let's talk about the immediate bad I had when I heard that this movie was not in English. When it's not in English, I don't mind watching a movie in another language, but usually it means subtitles, and I don't mind subtitles, but I don't read fast. So that's a personal problem of mine. Not everyone may have this issue. So the subtitles for most of this movie, I read 75 to 80% of what was on the screen before it disappeared. So I did not get a good idea, but for the most part, most of the dialogue was just usual. Hi, how you doing? I'm doing fine. Thank you. Very well. Have a good day. It was just normal jibber jabber, as I like to call it. So not a big thing. So okay, and I'm gonna say this in the beginning, not the end, but I felt this movie was a big treat. The goods with this movie was also being a foreign film, I would call it, because it's made in another country. The production and camera value was spot on, I would say. Like, usually when you get a movie with subtitles and in another language, you will get you'll basically get not the best camera quality of shooting. So I guess that's cinematography, whatever you want to call it. Very good. Really helped in the movie because the story in this movie, basically you're dealing with people who are either infected or possessed, I guess, and it wasn't very clear. They really didn't get too, what I would say, detailed on it. They left a lot up for interpretation. But basically, something happens. There are some rules as to what you need to do to not spread or make this get worse. And obviously, it wouldn't be a movie if the people in the movie did not make it worse. Very good. The killings were very grotesque. A lot of the makeup and visuals, very good. You felt that although there was a creep factor, but for some reason, I don't know, maybe it was because I don't know, like it was in another language, so I was reading and not engaged in the dialogue. Kind of like when things were supposed to like creep you out or almost like scare you. I don't know. I found myself laughing like that. It was funny. I don't know. It almost seemed comical, almost like a Sam Raimi and Army of Darkness kind of comical horror, even though it was a lot more serious and gory and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely enjoyed this. Uh, you everything wrapped back around, which was nice. The story was well put together. Although, like I said, I kind of felt that although that might be a difference in cultures where they lean into more of that superstition and things aren't explained as much. So maybe because of that, the different cultures, and the people who are writing and producing this movie where it was is different than like if you had something over here, you would have to, be very explained and you can't leave any stone unturned. So, if you want a movie where you basically can sit there and discuss, what you kind of felt were, what was accurately depicted and what wasn't, this is a great movie for that discussion. So that being said, not to get too spoilery, but the story of the characters was very well done. But like I said, the lore of exactly what went on, I felt that they gave you just enough to understand that this was basically something had basically happened that changed the way that the societies worked with things. And then it was almost like it reminded me almost of in Freddy versus Jason, the way that they dealt with Freddy was to completely like almost like be aware of it but to ignore it, almost like I felt maybe not as much here, but it felt like from a little bit of the dialogue that was said that they understood what was happening with these possessed people and the rules, and certain people knew of it, but they had to keep it almost secret, which is why so many people didn't understand exactly how to handle this, which led to, this getting to be a worse problem than it was. So, I mean, for that, I mean, that's pretty interesting. I don't know why, like, these two characters, since this is something that's not known, why they knew about it, and they were not very well aware of it, but well aware of it enough to know that there was something going on. I don't know. So yeah, that's my take. I thought it was a big treat. Good movie for it was. The gore really sold it. The killings, very nice. Very surprising. It had that almost dread of like you didn't know how to end the evil to make it stop almost. So yeah. And then the ending was very another thing to discuss for the ages that you just didn't understand what it was. So I don't want to get into spoilers, but yeah, that was it. So anyway, this is Casual Noob Cybot, Sexy Librarian, signing out.